Welcome to DeadManTalkings. Tonight's story is the second edition in a fantastic series from the wonderful mind of SmokeyBeardman, The Naturals. As ever, please do let me know down below in the comments what you thought. Please do like and share and help build our channel and our community further. Help us smash through the 30,000 subscriber mark before the year is out. Now, without further ado, let's get into tonight's story, entitled The Naturals, the Gunslinger. Let's get straight into that. Seven months. 7 friggin' months in recovery and quarantine. That was a horrible price to pay for this new job. I beat a demon in hand to hand and they stick me in a building for 7 months. I get it, to a point. They had to make sure there was no effects of fighting that thing and to make sure that I healed up completely. Boy, was I glad when they told me I was done with quarantine and was to be moved to the bunks. I'd just gotten done packing my things back into my footlocker when Agent Costas walked into the room. Are we ready? Hell yes, sir. I want out of this room. I understand your need. This was necessary to ensure no lasting effect of... I cut him off. I know. I still want some human contact, other than the dragon lady, I said, pointing at a 30-something, pinch-faced, angry woman who had been my only companion during my stay. She glared at me and flipped me the bird and went back to tidying up the infirmary. You're not the only one to give Helga that nickname, and you probably won't be the last. Come on, let's get you to your quarters. I grabbed my stuff and made my way out of the room, stopping to blow Helga a kiss and return a hand gesture. Outside the infirmary was a bustle of activity. Men moving supplies, driving around, helicopters being refueled, and so on. There were about 5 buildings including the infirmary. We were headed towards a shack next to a rundown building where the helicopter was being stored. It was only a 6x6 shed and the door looked like it was on its last legs. Why does everything look so run down? So the place looks like an abandoned farm. Don't want any outsiders stumbling upon this place, especially other governments. As he was telling me this, he opened the door to the shed and gestured for me to enter. He closed the door behind him and put his hand on a biopad that was just inside the door. After about 5 seconds, the floor moved down and made me jump. I wasn't expecting the elevator. We went down maybe 20 feet, and when the place opened up, I saw the real base. It was like a maze of hallways and buildings and random rooms. We didn't talk, but I wanted to ask more, but figured I'd get more info later. We went along winding hallways and rooms to a wall on the other side. Another elevator, down again. This time I saw buttons. 1. R&D. 2. Living quarters. 3. Biolabs. And 4. Containment. Agent Costas pressed the button for living quarters and we made our descent. As the doors opened, I had to dodge a bottle being smashed just behind me. You flaming arsehole! I saw 2 men about to fight. As soon as I could register what was going on, one was decked out in tactical garb and was tall, young looking. The other was shorter and about the same age, and looked like an office worker. Another man was leaning against the wall with a grin, watching the 2 red-faced men. The third man was probably 30 or 35 and average height. That was my last Twinkie. I told you never to touch my cakes. The shorter man was livid. He threw an impressive punch and caught the tactical man on the jaw, knocking him to the ground. At this point, Agent Costas yelled in a booming voice, "Miller!" Both men jumped to attention. Neither apparently had noticed our arrival. Act your age. Sir, he ate my I don't care what he did. If he ends up in the infirmary, I'll put you on minimum rations for a month. At this, the short man made a slight squeak and looked worried. Due to his pudgy appearance, he really liked his cakes. I had to stifle a laugh. As for you, this he said looking at the other man. Theft is not acceptable, even if he is your brother. Yes, sir. It won't happen again, sir. Now that is out the way, everyone, please line up. We have a new recruit. Everyone, including the average height man, still grinning, lined up and looked at me with calculating gazes. "This is Tyler Andrews. His code name is Street Fighter. Show him to his room and explain procedures and rules to him. Tyler, this is Jerome Tackett, codename Tack." He nodded to the average height man. To his right, Jacob Miller, codename Gunslinger. This was the man in tactical dress. And to his right is Terrence Miller, codename Hacker. I'll leave you to get set up and comfortable and get acquainted with your new squad. At this, he turned and went back to the elevator. When the door had closed, everyone visibly loosened up. "Welcome to the freak show, Street Fighter." Tack was the first to welcome me. "Don't worry, we won't call you that all the time. Come this way, I'll show you around. These two have got some hashing out to do, I think. Please, call me Ty." Tack led me down a hall and soon we came to what would be my new room. He began explaining everyone's special abilities, rules and meal times. He also explained a lot of the other things I didn't have the patience to commit my memory to. Tack was a master tactician, the best ever. Strategies came to him easily and were perfect. Jake, Gunslinger, was a master sniper and held world records in everything gun related. Longest, most accurate shot, though the world would never know about it. His quick draw was unparalleled. Terry Hacker. He could hack into anything, and computers were his favourite toys. He made his own games, wrote programs that were almost futuristic, and was like a wizard for any technology. We all owe him our lives, for various... At this point, alarms started sounding off, and then even louder, the speaker. "Cold Gamma, repeat Cold Gamma. Evacuate level 4, naturals, engage. Threat level red X, repeat, threat level red X." This went on repeating for a minute. "What is all this?" Tack looked worried. "Code Gamma means creature escaped to containment. Red means hostile and fatal. X means kill on sight." "What kind of..." "You'll find out. You'll be with Jake, me and Terry. We'll head the first level to monitor and provide intel. Grab whatever you need and meet Jake at the elevator." At this, he turned and he ran to the hallway, disappearing. I threw on my boots and made my way back to the elevator. I met Jake there and he looked like he was having a great day. "Ready for the hunt?" "Call me Ty." "What are we hunting?" "Creepy crawlies, nightmare fuel. I take it you don't know what is down on the 4th. "No." "Well, you're about to find out. Let's go. Your job is to have my back and, if need be bait. I kill. From your codename, I take it you're a fighter of extraordinary skills." "Well, that's what they tell me." "Good." At this time, the elevator opened and we stepped inside. And as we went down, the speaker in a metal crate broke in. "The creature is Subject 82, also known as Sasquatch. It is 8 foot tall and weighs approximately 700 pounds. If you can contain it safely, please do. If this is not an option, then kill it. And Tyler, don't let my brother get too reckless. I love you too, bro." We made it down to the level where containment was painted on the wall opposite us. Jake put his finger to his lips and shushed me. I took his instruction to heart. He knew this place better than I. He pulled his rifle from his shoulder and chambered a round. He then pulled the revolver from a holster and checked the bullets, and did the same with a 9mm from the holster on the other side. When he felt that he was ready, he made his way down the hall marked 80 to 89. I walked about an arm's length behind him. It wasn't long before we saw a door laying on the floor. It was caved in and ripped almost in half. A steel door, mangled like it was made of cardboard. Next to the room was 5 men laying on the ground. All 5 looked horribly broken. It reminded me of the mine and I shivered. We checked their pulses and none of them were alive. And considering how many broken bones and twisted joints there were, it was probably a mercy. They looked like those metal wire puzzles. There were shell casings scattered on the ground. And leading down the hallway, away from our position, was a trail of blood drops. Jake motioned for me to follow, and we made our way further down. As we went, I saw doors, each labelled with a subject matter and a name. I saw one that was labelled Subject 85, Beast of Syracuse, Level Red, Species, Unknown, Diet, Carnivorous. As we moved past this door, I heard sniffing, and what could have been chuckling. We kept moving in the direction of the blood splatters that were getting more and more sparse. When we got to the end of the hall and reached the next fork, the blood trail was gone. "Now where to, mighty hunter?" With a chuckle, Jake answered. You're a bit cocky, ain't you? Jake looked around, checked the floor and sniffed. With the dim lights, it was hard to see much at all. The flashing red lights were almost disorientating. Finally, Jake turned to me and said, with a wry smile, bait time. You shitting me, right? Nope. It turns left and right. Then the left dead ends. The right turns again and leads to the rest of the zoo. What I need you to do is to walk around and attract the thing. If you can get it to chase you, lead it to my location, I'll take it down. I'm the one who caught the damn thing in the first place, and I know we don't have enough tranq darts to capture it. My brother is just optimistic here. He handed me a gun. It was used for tranquilizing animals. It won't be enough to stop him, but it might slow him down a bit. Think you can handle this plan? If not, tell me now. I'll do what I can. Good. At this, we went our separate ways. I watched him turn left, and before he disappeared, he gave me a thumbs up. I could tell he was enjoying this. I made my way down the right side hallway, moving carefully. I didn't want to alert the thing before I knew he was there. I made a series of turns, keeping my progress in a mental map, making mental notes on which halls were dead ends and which ones would lead back. Soon, I came across a water fountain that was ripped from the wall, and the water was spraying from the pipe. On the right track, I said to myself. As I turned the corner, I saw a huge bulk of an ape on 2 legs, and it was easily 4 feet wide. Its arms were like tree trunks, and its legs were the same. Its barrel-like chest heaved with each breath. Its head looked like a cross between a man's and an ape's, but bigger. And the worst part was when I turned the corner, it was looking directly at me, almost like it was expecting me. For what seemed like an eternity, we just stared at each other. And then I recovered from the shock of the sight of this thing and lifted my gun. When it saw me do this, its face became a face of pure rage, and it bellowed. The roar rung my head like a bell, and in the midst of an attempted intimidation, I shot the tranq gun. My aim was true, unfortunately. As soon as the dart hit it, the great ape grabbed it and flung it at me, and then charged, roaring the whole way. My instincts kicked in and I ran. I ran, but not away, but towards my opponent. This, I hoped, would confuse him. As soon as I came within reach of him, I dropped into a baseball slide, but with one shin under me. As I dropped, he went to slam me with 2 huge fists. He missed narrowly, and I took the opportunity to bag tag him. I'm not embarrassed to say I was impressed by the sheer size of his low-hanging fruit. Easy targets. Coming out to the other side, I used my leg that I tucked under me to force myself into a standing position. I turned to see the creature drop to its knees in pain, and as I gained my balance, I pushed forward and stepped on its back like a springboard and came down with a kick to the back of its head just below the skull. After that contact, I rolled forward and came to my feet with the momentum. The howls coming from this thing were deafening, and the fury it now held for me was undeniable. The pure, unfettered rage written on its face in large letters. Its dopey eyes were fixed permanently on me. In a huff, it flew at me. I took only enough time to shoot one more dart at it and made a dash for where I last left Jake. I had a small lead on the Bigfoot, but the dart seemed to be making it slow, but not slow enough. It was, bit by bit, gaining on me. I turned corners and raced down corridors, and the roars seemed to have antagonized the other captives, because as I made my way down the hall, I heard roars, cheers, and slamming against cell doors as I ran past. The whole way the beast was gaining, and finally I came to the hall that led to where Jake sat waiting. Just one more corner to turn, just one more. Before I could move forward anymore though, I felt a shove from behind send me flying through the air. As I rolled, I landed and continued running. That was lucky. Could have been worse. Almost there. This was all I could think. And finally, I was there at the corner. Before I could round it, I felt a hand land hard on my shoulder. The weight was immense. Our momentum was still forward and we came into sight. I heard the shot whiz by my ear, and then the bang and the thud of it hitting the mark. And down we went, with the beast on top of me. My head was ringing and my vision was blurry. I couldn't breathe with the weight of the beast on me. I heard running, but that was all before I blacked out. When I came to, I was in the infirmary again. Standing over me, looking at the clipboard, was the dragon lady. Ah, awake, I see. You're no worse for wear, so you can go. I just wanted to make sure you would regain consciousness. You have. Now you can go. Gladly. And with that, I left. I was met outside by Agent Costas. Welcome back. You did good work down there. We got him? Yes. And according to Gunslinger, you did very well. Hacker said that the way you fight is unnatural, like you defy the laws of nature in a sense. Granted, I'm paraphrasing, but there you go. He brought me back to the living quarters and let me go, telling me to get some rest. I was then set upon by 3 excited men. I found the one I was hoping to see, and he beamed at me. He moved forward to shake my hand, and I laid him flat out with a solid punch. You almost shot me, you jackass! Damn, that hurts. That's the key word, isn't it? Almost. My aim was perfect, and well timed if I do say so myself. Terry fed me the camera feed, and I knew I had to take the shot like that or this all could have been turned out much worse. If you want proof, Terry has it. Terry shoved an iPad into my hand and I watched from multiple angles what had happened. He was right. A moment later would have cost me my life as the great ape's head, fangs bared, was almost on my neck as his head snapped to the side when the bullet impacted. See? I told you, I'm the best shot ever. At this, Terry put his 2 cents in. And Modest too. At this, we all broke out laughing. I think I'm going to get along very well here. We went off to the day room to have a snack and actually get to know each other. Weirdest job I'd ever had, but at least it's interesting. Wow, absolutely thrilling stuff, SmokeyBeardman. Thank you so much, brother, for getting that over to me. I realised I had some audio difficulties the other night. I did the recording just like I done just now, and then when I got finished, it hadn't actually recorded anything at all. So 25 minutes of talking to a microphone that wasn't on. Lessons learned. Move forward. I hope you're all well and happy and are ready, because the content is about to start going through the roof again. I think I've worked out the personality of my program and my new laptop, so I can figure out some loopholes to get content on quicker. But hang tight. Definitely by the end of the month we will be stepping up a gear back to the old days, possibly 2, maybe 3 uploads a day. Can't wait for that. Hope you guys are excited as I. As I mentioned yesterday, I'm looking to do some collabs, so if you're a narrator yourself, or if you thought about narrating, thought you might give it a chance, I'd be happy to have you here on the show, and more than happy to have the support. As ever, much love to you all, and remember, be safe, not sorry.